You've heard it a million times. Time is money. And this old adage holds especially true in the contact center environment. When you factor in things like agent payroll, toll fees, tech costs, and contact center upkeep, it's clear that every operating minute significantly impacts a contact center's bottom line. The simple truth is, virtual queuing can reduce these daily operating costs and increase customer satisfaction. But rather than just spout off a bunch of numbers to prove it, I'm going to break down exactly how you can measure this ROI in your contact center and see for yourself. Welcome to Snackable CX, where we break down our best resources into bite-sized guidance on how to stand out and be known for your customer experience. I'm Sam Salerno, here from Mindful, the best-in-class total experience solution that aims to add kindness to your tech stack. All right, let's kick it off with a quick definition of a virtual queue. In its simplest form, a virtual queue is a piece of contact center technology that lets callers save their spot in line until an agent is available to call them back. It's the hang up and we'll hold your spot in line solution. Like I said, super basic definition, and there's so much more we can say about it. But that's the baseline we're going to roll with today. Virtual queues can help reduce costs and increase profitability in three key ways: by increasing efficiency, reducing operational expenses, and boosting customer satisfaction and retention. So let's start with how virtual queues improve efficiency. One of the most challenging aspects of contact center management is knowing how many agents are needed to effectively service callers at any given time. Low agent staffing during peak call times leads to long hold times, frustrated customers ready to churn, and high telephony fees. Too many agents during low call times results in idle agents and expensive payroll. And anything in between? Well, you know firsthand the constant battle of managing the yin and yang between a workforce and your customer base. But when callers can choose to enter a virtual queue and receive an immediate callback or schedule one for the future, peak call times are smoothed out, making it easier for workforce managers to better forecast their staffing needs to accommodate for higher or lower call volumes, or even helping you ride out when agents are at a premium. This increased efficiency then creates a positive cycle. Callers are happier when they don't have to wait on hold, leading to lower average handle times and higher customer satisfaction scores. In turn, customer happiness boosts agent morale, leads to better engagement with callers, and lowers the risk of agent burnout and attrition. Second, virtual queues reduce daily operational expenses. Toll-free numbers might be free for callers, but they're costly for contact centers. Toll fees continue to accrue regardless of whether your caller is speaking to an agent or waiting on hold. Even 1 minute of hold time can cause toll costs to shoot through the roof when a contact center deals with thousands of calls every day. So, when a customer can hang up the phone until it's their turn for a callback, it eliminates those extra toll fees. Or think of it this way, deploying a virtual queue means companies no longer have to pay for callers to listen to their hold music for the 10th time. And virtual queues also directly help reduce payroll costs. When managers can better forecast their staffing needs to accommodate for ASAP and scheduled callbacks, they don't have to worry about understaffing or overstaffing their contact centers, leading to better customer service, less idle agent time, and a better distributed workforce. And third, virtual queues increase customer satisfaction and retention. Zendesk's 2022 Customer Experience Report found that 93% of consumers spend more money with companies that offer their preferred way to contact customer service. And what is the most preferred method? According to Statista, 42% of U.S. consumers reported that phone calls are still their go-to when they need to contact customer support, beating digital channels by 4% and email by 22%. When you turn a typically frustrating experience like waiting on hold into an experience where the customer feels like you're valuing their time, you increase the likelihood that they'll remain a loyal customer for the long run. At this point, you might be saying, all right, Sam, we get it. Virtual queuing sounds awesome, but how can we actually measure it for ourselves? Well, I'm glad you asked, because in true Sam fashion, I've got 3 business areas where you can see direct ROI from a virtual queue. The first one I want us to look at is monthly toll fees. Sure, we're only talking nickels and dimes here, but when your contact center gets thousands of calls per month, those toll fees quickly add up. So when you can reduce the time customers spend with their phone to their ear, you'll naturally see lower telephony costs. To break it down a bit more, let's say your business receives 10,000 calls per month, and your average hold time for callers is 3 minutes. That translates into roughly 30,000 minutes of hold time per month. If your toll-free number costs you 15 cents per minute, you're paying roughly $4,500 of toll fees each month, or $54,000 per year just for your hold times alone. If 63% of callers, which is the average percentage of how many customers would rather receive a callback than wait on hold, skip the hold altogether and opted for a callback, your business would save over $34,000 per year just in operational expenses. Now, the next saving is even more impactful because average handle time impacts not only customers, but agent happiness and workforce expenses as well. Average handle time measures the amount of time agents spend on the phone with callers from start to finish. It includes talk time, wait time while the agent looks at the customer's file, and wrap-up time. You can measure ROI here the same ways we did with toll fees. The longer the customer is on the phone, the higher the cost. But a more effective way would be to place a monetary value on contact center efficiency and how a customer's perception plays a part in how long they're on the phone with an agent. Our data shows that customers who opt to receive a callback rather than waiting on traditional hold are easier and friendlier in their interactions with customer service agents, leading to higher quality calls, quicker resolutions, and higher customer satisfaction. This positive sentiment reduces handle time, meaning your callers can move through queues faster because agents can handle more calls in the same amount of time, effectively doing more with the same amount of resources. Most of our clients see 1 to 2 minutes shaved off of handle time per call after they implement mindful callback. And for thousands of agents and thousands more phone calls, that adds up fast. Which ties to our last area of ROI, staffing payroll. We mentioned this at the beginning of the episode. There are 2 primary ways contact centers can lose money on account of staffing: too many agents during low call volume times, or not enough agents during peak call times. Let's say, before implementing a virtual queue, your contact center staffs 100 agents per 8-hour shift to make sure you're meeting your SLAs during peak call times. If those agents cost $21 an hour, a single 8-hour shift will cost your business $16,800. But when callers have the option of receiving a callback from the next available agent or later in the day, or even week, your virtual queue can distribute peak call times throughout the day for better call pacing. So instead of forecasting 100 agents, you might only need 80 agents for 4 hours to handle peak call times and 60 agents for 4 hours during low call times. Math on a podcast can be tricky, but trust me, I crunched the numbers here, and payroll in this instance would cost you $11,760 compared to that earlier figure of $16,800. That's an over $5,000 difference in payroll you can save per day with a virtual queue. Multiply that across a year, that's almost $2 million saved on staffing alone. And that's just 100 agents. So I'll let you do the rest of the math. It's hard arguing with the data. Implementing a virtual queue practically guarantees a massive boost to contact center efficiency, customer satisfaction, and ROI. Happy callers make for better engaged and more efficient agents. And when workforce managers can accurately forecast how many agents are needed at any given time, you reduce the risk of agent attrition, saving untold hiring and training costs. Like I said, time is money. And we help enterprise-level brands turn their contact centers into efficient, customer satisfaction-generating machines that ultimately increase their bottom line. And my last call-out is this. If you're skeptical of callback's impact, it's probably because you've tried out some of the other guys. Mindful is the only best-in-class solution that's been implemented with Fortune 500 brands for nearly 30 years. So if you haven't given Mindful a shot, you're in for a pleasant surprise. This episode has been adapted from the article, The ROI of Virtual Queuing and How to Measure It, which can be found on Mindful's CX resource library at getmindful.com. We publish new, snackable CX episodes every week, so be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. See you next time.